The 1889 to 1890 influenza pandemic, also known as the Asiatic flu, was a global outbreak during the late 19th century. The 1629 to 1631 Italian plague was a devastating outbreak of the bubonic plague in northern Italy during the early 17th century. The period from 1846 to 1860 includes the later years of the Third Cholera Pandemic, a global outbreak of cholera. The pandemic spread from the Indian subcontinent. In 1656 to 1658, a resurgence of the bubonic plague occurred in northern Italy. In 1772 to 1773, a severe outbreak of bubonic plague occurred in the Russian Empire, primarily affecting Moscow. A pandemic occurred during the First Arab-Byzantine War, known as the First Byzantine Arab War Plague, or Plague of 746 to 747. Known as the 1576 to 1580 plague pandemic or Third Pandemic. Millions of lives were lost across Europe, Asia, and Africa during this deadly episode. In 1968-1969, the Hong Kong flu pandemic occurred. Caused by the H3N2 influenza virus, it spread globally, affecting millions. In 1957-1958, the Asian flu pandemic occurred, caused by the H2N2 influenza virus. In 1918 to 1922, the Spanish flu pandemic occurred, caused by the H1N1 influenza virus. It infected about 1/3 of the global population and resulted in an estimated 50 to 100 million deaths, making it one of the deadliest pandemics in history. In 1519 to 1520, the introduction of smallpox to the Americas by the Spanish conquest led by Hernán Cortés caused a devastating epidemic, one of the first major pandemics in the Americas after European contact. The Aztec Empire in the Americas experienced a devastating epidemic known as the Cocolisli epidemic. The exact nature of the disease is unclear, but it led to a catastrophic decline in the indigenous population, with estimates suggesting up to 15 million deaths. The Third Plague Pandemic, spanning from the mid-1850s to the mid-1950s, originated in China and spread globally. It was caused by the bacterium Yersinia pestis, leading to millions of deaths. The development of antibiotics played a crucial role in its eventual control. The COVID-19 pandemic began in December 2019 with the emergence of the novel coronavirus. It has led to widespread global impacts on public health and the economy. Ongoing efforts, including vaccination campaigns, aim to control the spread of the virus. The HIV/AIDS pandemic began in 1981 when cases of a rare pneumonia were reported in gay men in the US caused by HIV. It has resulted in millions of deaths globally, prompting ongoing efforts in research, education, and treatment. Justinian plague, likely caused by Yersinia pestis, swept through the Byzantine Empire, causing widespread illness and a substantial reduction in population. In 1918 to 1920, the Spanish flu pandemic occurred, infecting 1/3 of the global population and causing an estimated 50 million deaths. It is one of the deadliest pandemics in history. In 1346 to 1353, the Black Death pandemic occurred, caused by the Yersinia pestis bacterium. It resulted in an estimated 75 to 200 million deaths across Europe, Asia, and Africa, making it one of the deadliest pandemics in history.